Oh boy, you all are going to be so mad at who I says win this match. Goku and Yhwach, I'm pretty sure you all know both of these characters, so I don't need to go over introductions. But what I will say is that this fight is not fair at all, and I'm going to explain why. But before that, please leave a like on the video, subscribe, and comment if you're new and if you enjoyed the video. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. When it comes to Goku's scaling, I'm pretty sure you've all heard it before, but both Beerus and Goku's clash with their fists were so powerful that it was stated that it was going to destroy the Universe 7 macrocosm. This includes Universe 7 as a whole, which also includes the Kaioshin realm, King Kai's realm, and even the afterlife, which includes both heaven and hell. This feat would be at the lowest the Universe Plus level feat to low complex multi. For this video, I'll say that the feat is a low complex multi. You can also argue that Goku is 4D because the other world, which includes heaven, hell, and King Kai's planet, and even the Kaioshin realm, which exists outside of everything, aren't physically connected to the main universe. Not only are all these realms stated to be universes, which means that they're universal in size, but they're also stated to be metaphysically connected as well, which means that you can't reach these places normally, and they are outside of not only human perception, but encompass an entirely vast separate space, while still being somewhat connected to the main one. The other world is also stated to be higher than the heavens and be in a realm beyond dimensions. So to reiterate, because Universe 7's mortal realm is already universal, and the other world, like I just said, has heaven, hell, and King Kai's planet, which all not only dimensionally transcends the mortal realm and are also stated to be different universes, and even the Kaioshin realm, which is completely separate from everything else, the fact that Goku and Beerus' punches were going to destroy all of these, even though they are metaphysically connected, means that they are simultaneously there and not there at the same time. So again, this is around Universal Plus. As a low ball, it's a low complex multi. Another feat I like to talk about is Goku and Jiren checking the World of Void, but mainly Goku since he's the one I'm scaling in this. But Goku was able to shake the World of Void, and Krillin also calls this out in the question by saying if he was shaking the stage at first, but then clarifies and says that Goku was actually shaking the entire World of Void. Now, I do believe that Krillin does have validity here, as he's no longer on the stage to try and say that the stage itself is shaking. And it makes sense for Goku to be able to do this feat, because Jiren was also doing a similar feat during this time. And we know that Goku, when he was in Ultra Instinct Omen 1, he was at least relative or equal to the current Jiren that he was fighting with the form. Some people also claim that the World of Void doesn't actually have infinite nothingness, because there's a stage, people, gravity, time, etc. But let me give some reasoning to that. Firstly, we do know that the Grand Priest created things like this in order to allow the participants to actually fight against each other. If he hadn't added in these things, the tournament couldn't have happened because everybody would just die. The Grand Priest created these things only for the people within the Void and for the tournament. The Void itself originally does not and did not have anything within it, which is why it said infinite or at least eternal nothingness. When the comment was made about the World of Void having infinite nothingness, it was said before the tournament even began or was actually being made, which should back up the fact that it originally doesn't have those things and were only made to help the people for the tournament. I also hope to give further interpretations to Goku shaking the World of Void, so I asked ChatGPT to give me 4 different interpretations of the feat, and we can actually eliminate some of these and narrow down at least the most likely interpretation. So for the first interpretation, we know for a fact that Goku did shake the World of Void, because as I said, Jiren was doing a similar feat during the time, and Krillin also called out and said that Goku was indeed shaking the entire World of Void. So the first interpretation isn't likely at all. The second interpretation is that Goku was shaking the stage itself and not actually the World of Void. We know this isn't the case because Krillin called this out and said Goku was actually shaking the entire World of Void again, not just the stage. You can add even more validity to this since Krillin wasn't on the stage anymore, as I said earlier, and he wouldn't be able to know if the stage itself was being shook or not. So, again, this interpretation isn't likely either. The third interpretation is that Goku was using spiritual power, which you can sort of argue could be the case. Sort of. We know that Goku had to break through his own physical and mental limits in order to attain this godly technique, and in order to use Ultra Instinct, you have to be able to be completely calm with your mind and just allow your body to just fight and move on its own. You could even say that one has to have spiritual control over themselves. Something interesting worth noting is that angels are not only stated to always be in Ultra Instinct, but you could also imply that the reason is because, like we says the Goku in the manga, he's a completely different life form than him. And angels always do seem to be extremely calm and collected no matter what the situation is, arguing that they have complete control over all aspects of themselves, even spiritual. So this could be the case if you believe it to be so. And for the last interpretation is that Goku was transcending reality, which really isn't the case. Remember the feat of Goku and Beerus's clash, almost destroying the macrocosm? They would have destroyed every single dimension within the universe along with the mortal realm. It was never said Goku was affecting anything outside of the void, so this could also be an unlikely interpretation. And people also have an issue with the statement of the world of void having infinite nothingness. Here are also some interpretations and breakdown of each of the kanji and the Japanese translation of the sentence. You all can pause the video and read this if you want to. But anyways, to go over Goku's speed, we can say he has infinite or possibly even immeasurable speed. Although the immeasurable speed scaling is a bit wonky and you can have some interpretations and arguments against it, but I'll still bring it up for those that want to use it. Starting off with his infinite speed scaling, during the Granola arc, Granola appears behind Goku and Vegeta, and Goku notes that Granola's technique he's using to move as fast as he was faster than instant transmission. Keep in mind, instant transmission is instantaneous movement, making it infinite speed. And Goku obviously gets faster than this Granola throughout the Granola arc. And as for his immeasurable speed scaling, you can scale him off of Hit, whose time skip has been stated to be able to stop time, although this only works on those weaker than himself or on his level of power. Depending on how much stronger you are than Hit, the time stop becomes slow time, which then just doesn't affect you at all. And obviously Jiren in both the anime and manga, being stronger than the Hit and Goku that fought each other, Vado says that Jiren transcends time. This isn't a literal statement as Jiren is still bound by time. He is just so much stronger than Hit that, as I said, his time skip ability just doesn't work. To again reiterate my point, Whis does break down Hit's time skip, and he explicitly says that if you are specifically stronger than Hit, his time skip won't really work. And obviously for abilities, Goku has his Super Saiyan transformations, which gives him various different increases to his stats, and he has access to Ultra Instinct Omen, Mastered, and True Ultra Instinct. And now that I've gone over Goku scaling, let's talk about the Quincy King, Yhwach. Now Yhwach is a bit different when it comes to scaling. In terms of his raw AP, he doesn't really have much to show for it, but what he does lack in raw AP, he makes up for with his stacks and abilities. But before I get into that, let me get into the cosmology of Bleach and what Yhwach is doing to said cosmology. To talk about the cosmology first, the three realms are stated to be in a perfect balance, and if this balance was disrupted, then all of the realms would eventually collapse and be destroyed. And the Yhwach, when he killed the Soul King and absorbed his and Mimi Hagi's power, said that Soul Society, the Dangai, Hueco Mundo, and the World of the Living are all going to be destroyed. This feat should be around Uni Plus, since most of these realms are extremely vast, and Soul Society and the human world should be universal in size. And as for the Dangai and Garganta, they are vast spaces, but neither of them are infinite in size. The Mukin in different translations is said to either be almost infinite or extends near infinitely in almost all directions, which means that the Mukin isn't actually infinite, but is nearly infinite in terms of distance. And as for the Dangai, it is said to be surrounded by torrents and layers of time, alongside the fact that Ishin says that time itself is 2,000 times denser than in the real world. And Yhwach should also scale above the Phoenix Blade, which was stated to have the destructive force of 1 million Zanpakuto toes. And Soul Society Ichigo was able to block this with no difficulty. So in terms of AP, Yhwach is able to destroy multiple realms, some of which are around universal in size, with some of them being said to be nearly infinite in size. This is indeed impressive and should get him around Uni Plus to possibly low multi AP. And now that I've gone over his AP, let's talk about Yhwach's speed. Now to go over his speed, I'd like to bring up the Minos Grande's Negacion light. This isn't only just a beam of light, but it is said by Yamamoto when this light comes down and envelops someone or something, they are already beyond reach or in another world. In the context of Bleach, they'd be in a different realm than they already are. You can argue this to be the speed of light, since we can actually see them slowly descending before disappearing, or even FTL, since as Yamamoto said, the moment they're in the light, they're already in a different realm entirely. There are some other interpretations, but I do like these the most. And the characters who were present there and dodged the light, Yhwach, I'm pretty sure as you all can guess, scales over pretty bad. Yhwach is also able to react to and combat Ichigo, who is many times stronger and faster than the version of himself here during the Soul Society, and should be many times stronger than his various Bankai Imps during the series, as Bankai Imps are generally 10 times in stats, and Yhwach was fully confident and able to combat against them. So Yhwach should be around MFTO plus in terms of speed. And now that I've gone over Yhwach's speed, let's quickly talk about Goku and Yhwach's stats again, and just see how they stack up before I give my opinion on who wins. For Goku, he should be around Uni plus to low complex multi, with infinite or immeasurable speed, more so infinite if you guys like that one better than the immeasurable speed argument. And Yhwach should have around Uni plus to low multi AP, and FTL at the low end to MFTL plus. And now that I've said that, who would win if Goku and Yhwach were to fight? In terms of raw power, Goku absolutely bodies Yhwach, and while that is normally a good thing and should be the end of that, it really isn't. See, this is what makes Yhwach a terrifying opponent to face off against. Yhwach describes his ability, the Almighty, as being able to not only see the future, but the ability to also change the future as well. He can also know everything he sees within the multiple different futures and timelines, and everything that he sees becomes completely useless to him, and he can also possess those powers as well. To give an example, if Goku was to, let's say, use Super Saiyan Blue and kills Yhwach with a Kamehameha, Yhwach would just come back stronger. He would take Goku's Super Saiyan transformations, and he would also take his Kamehameha as well. I know some of you might be asking how can he do something like this if he's not a Saiyan or doesn't have Ki. He was able to take Soul Reaper's Bankais and such, although he himself wasn't a Soul Reaper. You see what I mean? He isn't limited by things like that and can take anything and everything he wants to be honest. To further add on to this, everything Goku does or would do to Yhwach would just be completely useless since he would know everything Goku will do and can actively change it like he did when Ichigo was about to use his Bankai. Basically, Goku will exhaust all of his options he can do, and Yhwach will just take all of Goku's abilities. And yes, this does include Ultra Instinct and things like that, and he would just kill Goku. This isn't even taking into account him having all of the Stern Ritter's abilities as well. Yhwach is just 2 hacks for Goku despite the stats, and he would beat Goku with possibly low to mid difficulty. But that's all I have to say on this matter. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.